I'm Arinoth, and I'm playing Roderick Kane.
I'm Legacy, and I am playing Loretta.
I'm VRT Freeman, or Luca, and I am playing Frederick Perler.
I'm Tink, and I'm playing Helena MacLeod.
I'm Vironz. I am playing Sister Rosalie.
And I'm Solomon, and I'm your librarian for the evening. When we last left our investigators, our researchers, they had found the librarian in a rather rough state after having woken up and had a rather normal morning working the garden, doing a little bit of research and a little bit of cleaning up and praying within the chapel. Loretta found the librarian stumbling into the Sweet Bones, very heavily injured from a physical altercation with what appears to be a giant serpent. After having worked to pull the poison from his body and not only put an antivenom within it and worked to heal the wounds, they have left him resting in his quarters after Loretta had discovered the name that the librarian left behind. It is later in the afternoon, about 4 p.m. at this point. Much of the day is still left, which could give the investigators time to complete other goals or complete the goal that the librarian had originally set out to do. It is up to them now that they are left to their own devices within the Hush House. You all are currently within the dining room, as it has sort of become an impromptu meeting room for everyone just throughout the days within the Hush House. It is oddly quiet without the librarian there, almost as if he seemed to provide an air of relaxed music within the halls, and now they are deathly silent.
So forgive me, I remember that at some point there was discussion of making it into the woods and going on a hunt for some kind of otherworldly thing that had hurt the librarian. Am I missing something?
I believe that was what was discussed last time, yes. So now it is up to you to decide if you want to stick to that plan or do something else. It is your day to do, your hours to do with as you see fit.
Right. Okay. As this was brought up, do the other characters, they have any particular reaction to that when it was discussed? I think Freddy, who is as cool as a cucumber as ever, is ready and raring to go, but with the other characters thinking anything of that in particular?
The idea of going and hunting whatever it was that did what it did to our librarian is a rather unsettling notion for Helena, who is quite pale at the thought.
I don't know if I quite feel easy going into the woods. I don't really have any skills in the areas of survival.
Okay, so it's just Freddy who's the bloodthirsty lunatic then.
Well, I mean, that's why you research, is it not? You figure out how to survive. Maybe we can peruse these books here. See what we can find.
I think the captain might have any insight on what it could possibly be.
I mean, he might. Is he still here?
He is still here. He left you all to discuss things as you saw fit, since you are more of a unit after the past few days working together on various things. And he was there just mostly to make sure that the librarian was brought back into the Hutch house without much other event.
Would you like me to go and fetch him?
Roderick will look at everybody else to see if they're...
Might be our best bet.
Yeah, why don't we?
Go and see where he is. Yes.
He is rather easy to find. He is just in the little sitting area within the entrance hall of the Hush House. The last rays of the sun, which seems to be setting a little bit earlier today for some reason, shine golden across his face, though he looks very stoic outwardly.
Wanting to feel useful, Helena will mosey that away and peer around. Captain?
Yes, Miss McLeod.
We were wondering if you might, join us. We have some questions, possibly.
Of course. And he will just move back from the window and head along to follow you to where the others are in the dining room. And when he sees them all, he will just give a respectful and just acknowledging nod to each of you.
Do you need anything to drink or eat or anything?
I'm fine. I had enough within the sweet bones before all of the excitement today.
All right. Does anyone want to ask?
Okay, so it's a matter of who's going to stand up to the sort of intimidating captain and make the request.
I'm asking Captain.
I'm gonna look to
sorry.
Loretta.
Yeah, pawn this off on Loretta. We're not.
I mean, now it's just...
They did build a rapport.
She's not intimidated by him, she just doesn't know what to ask.
Okay. You know what? That is fine. I realize that I might be equipped to have this conversation. Captain, we just had a couple of questions. I know that you know more about these lands than, well, the lot of us do. We were wondering if you might be able to give us just a little bit of information on the creature that seems to have attacked our ally.
Yes.
I know some of this creature. It was not within my extended repertoire, but I know it at least by name. It is called, they were called the Little Sisters.
Pardon?
Yes. Great serpents of a bygone age. Born as siblings to older powers, to an older power especially. And everyone who wants to can give me a roll of night arts.
I don't got nothing in there.
Yeah, Daddy.
Okay, I'm not a master of the occult, but we're gonna try.
And I will say that Roderick actually would have gotten an advantage, which would mean doesn't really matter when you roll a 5.
No,
I pass.
Fantastic.
All right, a 67, and I have a 35 night arts, so I know just enough about night arts to embarrass myself in front of this guy.
Perfect. You heard a whole lot of information about sisters during your little occult TED Talk, effectively, when you were discussing it with your associates, especially like hearing things about the witch and sister, the sister and witch, and various other sibling esque relationships. But the little sisters specifically, especially if it's a proper noun, doesn't really ring a bell. For Loretta and Roderick, the Little Sisters are a group of great serpents. They have sort of scattered across the globe and throughout the histories. They were born as siblings to the now known as the Mother of Ants. They tend to gather wherever there is great occult power, like artifacts to be found, and they protect them from outside forces, including any with the knowledge and want to take them for themselves. Roderick knows specifically that they are great serpents that can be defeated in battle. They are not immortal, and they can also be forced to obey when showing power in connection to the Mother of Ants.
And Roderick would relay that information and then kind of frown a little bit. There were some tools in the moor that were supposed to help us. Do you think that might be what the librarian was aiming for that caused him to encounter these sisters?
Very well, then it might be. They're snakes.
It also means if we want to get those tools, we might have to face them ourselves anyway. Does anybody know anything about the Mother of Ants?
I don't think so, no.
That doesn't really sound like something I would know.
Would I be able to roll to see if I know something?
It would take another night arts roll. This one would be at a bit of a disadvantage because it's a very powerful being, but your focus was more on things with light and things within the Grail, as opposed to this individual, which you believe has an aspect of knock.
Mm-hmm.
I will check my notes to see if maybe I wrote something down that I forgot or that I don't recall immediately.
I would also take a night arts roll from you. Then you will not have the difficulty because you yourself are connected more towards knock.
All right,
Okey-dokey.
I fail then.
I got a 19.
Huh, inverse numbers. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Look at us.
Unfortunately, Loretta, this Mother of Ants, you know of her. You know that at one time she was mortal, and that she ascended in a grand assault alongside another hour upon the Mansis to kill an ancient hour that was called one of the gods in stone, or a god from stone. You know that she is currently still very powerful and is often also called the Daughter of Venoms or the Key Serpent. Though as for how one might call on her power, you're not so sure. Roderick, on the other hand, remembers a few passages he read of a text known as Medusa's Lament. It was a rather in-depth poem about the ambush of the Seven Coils, the god from stone that was slain by the Mother of Ants and her associate. The associate was scarred all over, scarred even unto his eyes, so that the great coils would not destroy him. It is a form of power, this scarring. In the right way, it can protect one from magics and one from greater assault against the senses and the mind. But you also know that just being able to wield some of her power, some of her sway, is likely done through utilizing tools or doors, and you know that all wounds are doors. So you could, if there is a wound present, you could more likely pull on that power to sway any little sisters of the Mother of Ants away from you, or perhaps even to pacify them in a way.
And as he relays what he knows about that, he'll actually look down at the marks that he and Loretta did when they were helping the librarian. Would those count as something to utilize, or is it something more what's the word I'm looking for? Does it need something a bit more severe than what they did?
It would at least give a good start. It would probably, in a way, protect you from the attacks of the little sister if you were to hold it up and start calling upon the Mother of Ants while presenting the scarring. But you do think that to actually fully pacify it would require fresher open doors, as it were, be that actual doorways or wounds. So if it was injured, you could possibly pacify it a little bit easier, or if you were to utilize other injuries in the locale where it has made its nest.
Okay. So maybe a mixture of what we've done and somehow hurting the serpent. Whether we try to lay a trap that might cause injuries or hunt them, I guess, would be our options if we go that route. And he's kind of looking at everybody as he says it, because he's still sort of mulling it over himself.
I don't really know how well I feel about this.
Me as well.
I mean, does it bleed?
It does. It is, in its own way, mortal. Tough, but still mortal.
Still mortal, huh? For a second, Frederick inhales, and his skin sort of bristles with goose flesh, and he thinks about his nose and his tongue and his veins and all the things that make him mortal. He rolls the concept around in his head for a moment. we don't think anybody's comfortable calling upon the Mother of Ants then, or?
I mean,
It's not exactly where my specialty lies.
but I necessarily wouldn't mind giving it a shot.
Could I get a roll of bright arts from those who have it as a skill?
Okie dokie.
Yes.
Just if you have it at all?
Or if you have it at all in general?
Okay, oh lord, 15 in Bright Arts. Oh yeah, just enough to embarrass myself.
Because I'm in the same boat. I got 20. Wait, I think I do.
Oh, no.
Oh, 58. Oh, that's delicious.
I succeed critically.
I'm gonna call upon,
Oh! I got 14. Nice.
I'm gonna call upon the Forge of Days. Is Forge under the Bright Arts?
Forge is under bright arts, and you also feel the power of the forge pulsing from within Captain Welland, given that he is very connected to the aspect of the forge.
I am actually I'm gonna take a D6 from it, and I'm gonna use that to replace my 10 slot.
Okie dokie.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I just got another emergency alert. Yeah, that is now 19.
We're doing good.
So, for Helena and Sister Rosalie, you both remember from your own works, your own work to study and learn more about the occult. You remember the tales as told within a book called The Sevenfold Slaying. It was a more direct and less artistic poem about the event within the Medusa's Lament. And you remember that it was actually the associate that was with the Mother of Ants was the Colonel, a hour of the lantern that actually had the Mother of Ants create his intense scarring across his entire body and blinding him, thus making him almost impervious to the magics of the seven coils. You do think that also calling upon the power of the Colonel could work to create fear within the Little Sisters. It would create more of an opening. And Helena also feels that beat in her mind and her heart grow stronger. There is a connection to heartbeats with the Thunderskin. Perhaps if she were to utilize that beat, she could find a way to sway and even connect to the heartbeat of the little sister and use that to her advantage. And Loretta, having achieved an astonishing success, knows all of this and also knows that with enough knowledge and enough pull towards the Colonel and his unkind and cruel teachings, one can almost empower their body, at least temporarily, with the fury of a scholar scorned.
So what kind of road do we want to go down?
What if we try to combine the two?
Do we have the time for that?
That's a good question. But I'm just thinking with the scars that Loretta and I have, we could get their attention, and that might be enough for what any of you might want to do with the kernel, or an aspect of the kernel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all well and good to rely upon your substandard religious interests here. And if it helps, I'm sure I'll be grateful.
Extracurriculars is what I call.
Extracurriculars, is that right? I think it is wiser that we consider the most practical options first before we default to something more... Sorry, you said extracurricular? Something like that.
Considering the nature of the creature being less practical and somewhat extracurricular, I think we have a few options.
I suppose.
Well, let me see what I need to prepare to call upon the colonel, an aspect of him.
I suppose I'd better consider my own preparations just as well. It's a little while since I broke out some good boots for mudding.
I think all of us should focus on what we will need, because I think that everybody's going to be playing a big part of taking this thing down, whether we want to or not.
Yeah. I'm going to retire to the library. If anyone does care to join me, I will be there.
Oh. Yeah. A good idea.
Yeah, I think I'll go with you as well.
I'm going to go look for some equipment for all of us. Roderick and I might need to reopen some doors of our own.
And then Roderick will kind of get like not an excited expression, but like a sort of like he might have just had a thought that's potentially an epiphany kind of expression on his face. What if it's possible to open a door to the kernel and that be how we sort of mix them both?
Isn't the entire premise of our presence here that it's bad that people be opening doors to otherworldly powers?
One could argue that it's bad for the wrong people to open doors.
And do you think we're the right people? Fred looks around, and it's the priestess, or the nun.
The nun?
The anxiety disorder girl, the Southern Belle, himself, and the intellectual, and he's like, this... Oh my god, not this.
Excuse you, sir. She's a ballerina.
She's a ballerina, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Toxic Fred.
We're the worst Scooby Gang ever. I love it.
Well, I am taking for granted that our intentions are on the right path. I do know the old saying about roads being paved with good intentions, but I'm choosing to think that we're on a better route than that. So, if the Hush House and the Librarian sought us out, while it might not be certain, I do think it might give us some advantage towards being the right people.
That's fair. I suppose regardless, there's really no meaningful difference between being doomed because there's one unearthly abomination appearing in reality any more than there are two. We can't be more screwed than we already are. This is sort of rock bottom. So if you think it'll help, I say go.
I think it's at least worth looking into to determine if it would help. Yeah.
Okay, well then I am going to add more supplies to my list of things to get. Not quite what I was planning on picking up, but I'm sure that we can find some stuff to help us summon up otherworldly being. Let me see what I can find around the house. If y'all are planning on going to the library, somebody's gotta be the item collector.
I believe I will leave you all to it. While I would very much like to assist, this is, frankly, not my fight. And I must get back home to my loved one to at least make sure that, should things go wrong, I am with them. I do wish you all of the best. And then he thinks for a moment. And I would like to get an allure check from anyone.
Alright.
Allure? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, are we picking one person to make the allure check, or is it everybody?
This would be one person who is going to make the allure check.
All right.
I've got an 85
Who's got the
allure.
most riz?
It's gonna be Loretta.
Already looking at Loretta.
Okay, Loretta.
I got 15 because I don't know what to do with mine.
What? The Grail aspected lady? Nah.
I don't think Fred's making the allure check here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
I would be
Does
the
Fred
next
got no
person
riz?
too. I would
He
be
is
the
not-
next person too with 65, but
Oh god, the Southern Belle. she's at it again.
Put on your best Blanche Devereaux.
To be fair, like she's let's see where this gets me. Let's see where this gets me. I would like to spend one of our I'd like to spend a I don't want to call them tokens. They're not tokens. Tarot card.
Okay. Which dice and from where?
I'm going to. You know what? I'm gonna. I'm gonna go with one of the D8s from the flower maker. Flowers have a lot to do with beauty and alluring, catching the eye because of their bright colors. I'm pulling on strings here.
No, that is actually a fantastic string to pull. That is all what I'm here for.
Fuck yeah. I love making random shit up and hoping it's... I literally just need to roll anything but an 8. I'm gonna replace the 10s.
Oh boy, here we go.
Fuck! Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Alright. Sorry, y'all.
Oh no.
Alright. This is a hit or miss day for me. Alright, well, and unfortunately, that was the only card that I realistically could pull from. and we only had a D8 and a D20, 3 D8s and a D20 on there. So I fail, which is fine.
I can try, but I don't got nothing in all lore.
I believe one of us can only make the check anyway. So.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yep.
more for just one person.
Yeah.
He looks to Loretta and then just gives a deep bow and says, I wish you all the absolute best of luck in this endeavor. And if all else fails, go for the eyes. And then he just smiles and turns and strolls out of the hush house.
Oh.
You can respect any man who's smart enough to know to go for the eyes.
What do you think to say?
What do you mean? What did you just say?
No, I said, what a thing to say. Never mind.
I think if you wait around on people to be entirely sane when they talk to you here, I think that's fine anywhere else, but on this little island, that's a hard sell, my friend.
Quite right. Sorry.
So, where is everyone going and what exactly are they up to for their preparations?
Well,
Library and research for the ritual, or whatever we need to do to call upon the aspect.
Understood. Everyone who is researching, go ahead and give me a roll of bright arts, night arts, anything like that.
let's see what I got.
What are Frederick and Loretta doing? I remember, actually, we'll wait on Loretta since I believe they had to step away. What is Frederick up to?
Great question. So he's thinking about very practical arms, right? And I'm so excited to finally use his skill set, all right? Intellectuals and artists, step aside. It's the jackass with the gun today.
Get it, boy.
It's a huge win for him. I'm going to just double check what I've actually got on his sheet. So he's got a gun, some rounds, and a switchblade. Those are his practical items. In the guidebook for... The handbook, what's... The source book? Rule book? For the system that we're using?
Yes.
It describes that demolition is not usually a skill associated with combat. And I think that's fair. I don't think this is really a game about chucking grenades 24/7. If I wanted to make an IED and just chuck it at the snake as my strong opener, is that an option practically?
There is a pharmacy here, as well as what it looks to almost be like an alchemy station as opposed to a chemistry lab. There's all kinds of like beakers and vials and various things. Some of it might be explosive. You could probably work to try to cobble something together. It would take a check. It would be at a bit of a disadvantage because it's using some materials that are a bit alien to you. But I would say that you could work to probably, with the time you have left, make one thing to help as an opener, as it were, as you said.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm going to sort of sequester Fred for the evening, trying to make a pipe bomb, which is super regular thing to do at Hush House. In a library.
As one does.
Can I make a demolition roll for that? Demolitions, you know what I mean?
I would say yes, you absolutely may. It will be at one level of disadvantage because you're using more of a alchemical station as opposed to a chemistry station where there are things that are like fully labeled in ways that you recognize.
Okay, forgive me, remind me, a disadvantage is 10 points or 15 points?
10 points.
10 points, okay. So I've got a demolition skill of 80.
So I need to roll under 65.
Oh, it's 15. Okay, so it is 65 then.
Oh, no, sorry. 70. My apologies.
Okay. All right, 54. Yay!
Excellent.
If you like, we can put that on hold until other characters do their thing, and you can explain to me afterwards exactly what kind of nightmare it is that I have concocted.
Absolutely. All right, so I see a roll from Frederick and Rosalie. Is Helena also going to be researching?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if Bright Arts or Well Read would have worked better in this particular case.
Well read would work. But for you, I will also take a roll of, I believe it's showmanship is the performance stat or performance skill.
I'm looking.
Stagecraft.
Stagecraft, that's the one. For
My
you,
eyeball.
I would also take stagecraft.
Okay, my eyes are trying to find it on my sheet, even though I know it's there.
Bottom left first page.
Thank you. So you want me to make both rolls?
Just one.
One. Okay, stagecraft. We'll do that. Yeah. I apologize. My feeling. There's the. Not bad. 62 out of 80.
Excellent. And Loretta, 3 of your associates have made their ways to the library to begin working on studying a bit. Frederick has made his way to the chemistry area. What are you looking to grab specifically? Do you have anything in mind?
Well, I know in order to make doors, you need sharp things.
It's true. There are plenty of kitchen knives within the kitchen, but you also do know that there is a training area that does have real weaponry.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the real shit.
Okay. Are you going for like bigger weapons, smaller weapons? There's all manner of kinds of implements of war here.
Oh, let me look at my character sheet to see. Cool. Do you have a gun?
You do see that there is a
Cool.
there is a rifle. Yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna grab 2 knives and a rifle. Just in case.
Loretta is going to war.
No, Loretta's not going to war. Loretta is going to, if this thing comes after her, she's got to try to shoot it in the eye. I would also like to pick up chalk, sand, salt, rosemary, and purple amethyst.
Okay. All of these things are readily available within the Hush House. As you walk through the doors, you almost seem to be just moving, not even of your own mind. You just seem to be guided along as the doors just gently open for you to tell you where things are. The Hush House is aiding you.
Well, thank you. And she's like putting all of this stuff, like she's lining it up like perfectly so that way nothing spills over, collecting things in like tiny tubes and making sure that everything that is being placed into this bag is clean. Can I find a chalice?
Give me a roll of intelligence.
Oh boy, oh no, not intelligence. That's my lowest stat. Anyway. Hi, Bob. Jeez. Sorry, I just saw the meme.
You're welcome.
Not the hunter roll. Try something else. Six.
Well, goddamn. You do remember that there was a rather impressive-looking chalice down in the natural caverns underneath the Hush House. That was at one of the altars. You think that with the power within it, for it was very obviously a chalice used in rites, that could probably work.
Oh yeah. Because, as we know, things that are summoned love shit like blood. So she's going to grab the chalice and like a rag to clean it off. And put everything into her bag, and then she'll go back and find the others.
Perfect. You make your way to the library. Frederick has also made his way there, carrying something in a large metallic cylinder that may or may not be the most stable, but we'll find out. And the people who are researching. Helena, could you remind me if is 62 under your stagecraft?
Yes, my stagecraft is 80.
Fantastic. I believe Roderick... Did Roderick succeed or fail on his roll?
If I don't have a disadvantage, I succeeded by 1.
Perfect. You did not have disadvantage on this. Sister Rosalie, unfortunately, is having a bit of a time.
He's distracted.
It's been a rough day for my rolls.
Sometimes you'll have that.
I still have it on my sheet. The some things should be left alone dread. I don't know if that should have gone away, but I just felt like in case it was relevant and I should still have it. It is still there on my sheet.
Thank you for reminding me. Unfortunately, dread does cause a disadvantage on rolls of bright arts.
Well, this was a night arts roll for me.
Well, then it causes an advantage, so it's even better for you.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
I have a fascination of is that true for now? I don't know if that affects anything.
That actually does make your stagecraft better, so you're fine.
Sweet. We done good, y'all.
Except for Sister Rosalie. Anyway.
The world of darkness in me is like, go team derangement.
She's distracted by the weird ballet dancing in the library.
The world of darkness in me is such an edgy statement without context. The world of darkness within, yeah? Yeah, buddy?
I could have said the world of darkness player in me. Let's go team derangement.
Perfect. So, while Sister Rosalie unfortunately is not able to find anything of greater use, at least anything that she is able to read, as there are some languages here that she does not recognize, Roderick is able to find a few tomes that corroborate his story of being able to, in a way, merge the two acts of creating a door and calling upon a light. One could do this through the shattering of a lantern. One could do this through the breaking of a mirror. And while also beseeching the colonel, and while doing this, would likely work to bring about at least a minor aspect of the colonel.
That is the goal, right? Is to try to bring a minor aspect or visage of him.
Indeed. And you look up from this, saying like, "Oh, I found some." What is Helena doing? As Helena was at first moving from bookshelf to bookshelf, casually, very carefully, and then you see that her movements became more flowing, more dance-like, as she actually began to dance from one end of the library to another, to her own unique beat. And this dance is powerful. You can feel that with this dance, even accidentally, she is calling on the power of the Thunderskin.
Oh, crap.
And you all feel a connection to her and feel your heartbeats all almost syncing together.
Is this an effect that's noticeable throughout the house?
It is an effect that is noticeable for everyone within her presence. So the moment you step in and see her and watch her dance, you can feel your heartbeat begin to change to be in time with her steps.
Okay, all right.
I don't suppose that would give me... Well, actually, no, that literally wouldn't change my roll. No, because my Bright Arts is 85. I was going to say, would that give me an advantage, but nope.
Darn.
But Helena, you yourself feel this link to others, and it feels good to be connected. It's almost a deeper connection than you had with your old dancing troupe. You feel like you are one with them, like you could move with them in perfect unison in ways where you would all be able to innately work together and not have to worry about getting in each other's way. That you are all one of one mind and one soul.
Roderick would just look up from the book. I have questions.
I'm just in my own little world.
And you are once again all back together.
Well, I came up with absolutely nothing on my end.
Oh.
Okay.
So it is possible to sort of mix the two. And at best, we might be able to get what we're looking for with regards to a representation of sorts of the kernel.
Oh. How?
Well, I'm not 100% sure if it would require freshening our scars, but we can kind of use a door and just choose which one we open. So my thoughts are it might be that we could catch their attention through the one, and then use the kernel to maybe scare them off. Since that's what it sounds like we were discussing. Any injuries that we cause to them may only help us call on the door. If my understanding of how the Mother of Ants works is accurate.
That is correct. Wounds in general would act as doors for her presence and her power.
this is him saying it all in character because he's just trying not to be like, I'm certain this is the way, because that way if it goes wrong, he'd be like, it was mostly certain.
I was like 95%.
Yeah. There was room for error.
We had 12% of a plan.
So theoretically, we might be able to combine all three of our skill sets to get this done.
Right?
And he'll kind of look over at Frederick, and he would probably be the one injuring them.
I don't think I've necessarily... I think I entailed that I was going to hurt it, but I don't know if I opened up about the pipe bomb yet, so...
No, I'm just assuming from the rifle.
You seem the most capable.
You have. Yeah.
So Solomon, I said, can we postpone revealing exactly what it is that I've constructed? And by the way, other players, I don't know what it is I've constructed yet until Solomon tells me exactly what it is that I put together. So Solomon...
Absolutely. I have an idea of what exactly you've made. As for you guys, meh.
We just know that you have a gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm basing my assumption off of, is rifle.
Okay, Solomon, would you kindly tell me what Frederick has put together after all this hard work?
Indeed. Frederick has put together something akin to a... It would effectively work as a mundane bomb, but there's a unique additional aspect to it. It almost seems to, with what he put into it, as his hands were reaching for things that just felt right, there were bright white, or like almost the color of fallen snow, concoctions that he added to this mixture. And as he holds it in his hand, it almost feels like he's holding a jar full of ice.
Okay, alright, so it's kind of a wintry, interesting. Okay. So Frederick says, I have an idea myself, and nobody panic as I explain. I've got it under control. And he produces from like the inside of his coat pocket this little cylinder with a fuse on it. And it's this piece of pipe that's capped on either end, right? It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's in it, but it's cold to the touch. And he says, for those of you who have any experience with munitions, you'll know what you're looking at. For those of you who don't, you should know that you're looking at a pipe bomb.
Oh, goodness.
Excuse me, what?
Huh? Oh dear.
If it is appalling and strange to you that I've decided to make a pipe bomb, but it isn't appalling and strange that we're going to fight a gargantuan snake thing, I don't really know what to tell you. I think this is just going to be effective. If it bleeds, you can kill it, and if it bleeds, you can usually make it bleed with a bomb.
I don't... It's not appalling or strange, it's...
It's a bloody bomb.
Yes.
That's where I'm at.
How far do we need to stand away from it when it goes off?
Yes, that.
Great question.
Bombs are kind of indiscriminate, and I would like to be discriminated against to the best of my ability.
As somebody with an 80 demolition who's not just banging sticks and rocks together here, do I have any clue approximately what the distance for this thing is?
The distance of... probably a distance equivalent to if you were within your quarters, you would want to be outside of your quarters, and you'd probably be okay.
Okay, so like...
But of course, with any sort of homemade munitions, the further you are from when it explodes, the better.
Yeah. I'm going to say provisionally like a 15-foot radius, but shrapnel always carries further than that.
It's possible if I didn't really put shrapnel in such a thing besides the outer shell of it itself, the vessel that the actual munitions are contained in, then this would be mostly a concussive blast.
Do you hear the words coming out of your mouth?
Oh, everybody else gets to be a freakish cultist of otherworldly powers, but when I make one pipe bomb, all of a sudden there's a problem.
It's going in spice chords.
Roderick's just gonna kind of snort at that because that is a good point.
My dear, I do not use my powers or even my knowledge of the occult. I don't even have powers of the occult. I don't even use my knowledge of the occult on other people. I don't use them for harm.
I think anyone would be intimidated by a bomb. I'm sorry to say, sir.
I help bring life into this world.
Yes, and you know who has to clean up that mess? People like me.
This is all pretty new to me. I consider this my phase of trying things out and telling my diary about it.
I've never done anything like this. Oh my goodness. I don't think anyone is trying to put you down necessarily.
I say let it off.
Like I said before, from what I know about the mother of ants, if it's injured, it may work to our advantage in trying to hold its attention.
Fine, you know what? We don't have to use it, but when things go south, I'm putting this between myself and the gargantuan horror.
No, I'm saying I think a pipe bomb would have a good chance of injuring it.
I think we were all a bit, or some of us, a bit startled. Not necessarily putting the idea or your work down. This is all rather new.
You know what? Let's put into a little bit of thought, right? Would you rather the pipe bomb, or would you rather be in the same position that the librarian is in? Your choice.
I'd like to stay away from its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If I have to be 15 feet away from a pipe bomb, that's 15 feet away from its mouth.
So, because I don't know about you, and I don't know about you, and I don't know about you, but I don't know how to fight hand to hand with anything. And no offense to a lot of you, it looks like neither do any of you.
Quite right.
So, I mean, I think that our friend here has a good point where if we can stay away from it and do harm to it, that might be our best bet.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm glad we have that set.
Whatever is best.
The alternatives, in lieu of direct confrontation, we have something about the colonel and the ant thing.
Well, what I've been suggesting is to try to combine the three, so to speak. So we've got practical, and he'll point at the bomb. We have the sway of the mother of ants, and he'll kind of gesture to the scars that he and Loretta have. And then we'll have the colonel, which we may be able to call on his light by having some sort of light source that we can interact with. Maybe like a lantern that we could break or something along those lines.
You should take a torch.
Yes.
There are torches available for people to grab so that they are not walking around in the moors as it begins to get a bit darker this day.
Does anybody have an idea on what hour may be the best hour to attempt this?
Can we roll for that?
Night arts or bright arts from everyone who wants to roll.
Okay.
Let's see if I can actually get one off today.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
I cannot.
Yep.
Go, Sister Rosalie.
Regan finally.
And another astonishing success from Loretta.
Heck yeah.
And an astonishing success from Roderick. Damn.
Oh, yes.
Well, everyone who rolled knows that the actual hours are associated with hours of the day. Unfortunately, it is the evening. The Mother of Ants is the hour associated with 5 a.m., and the Colonel himself is associated with 7 a.m. However,
However,
there is...
There's always a however.
Sorry, my computer decided to say, stop it.
it's fair.
Yep.
We're just playing with the occult and bombs. Computer shouldn't be worried.
It's always fine. Don't worry about it.
No big.
However, while these hours are when they are strongest, the inverse hour is not exactly one that is detrimental to them, so they should still be quite powerful even past the hour that they are connected to.
You said the 5 a.m. was the Mother of Ants and 7 was the Colonel?
7 a.m. is the Colonel.
Oh boy, 5 a.m.
What if we tried it at 6 a.m.? Would getting it in the middle of both have any sort of effect, or would it need to be after the hour for them to have an effect?
Wouldn't that just be invoking some other horrible bugger?
Yeah, what's 6 a.m.? Mother of Pearls or something? Should wrap us up around
The
us.
Mother of the Colonel.
Oh, Mother of Pearl.
Hour 6 is the Witch and Sister.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so that doesn't exactly sound like a good thing.
What abomination is she a part of?
She is connected to the aspects of Heart, Moth, and Grail.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Okay.
And Grail.
Could we research if that hour may have a way we could connect the two to try to, I don't know.
Okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong. Semi out of character, I'm saying this. Can't we invoke, can't we just invoke them without it being their direct hour? It'll be a bit more difficult, but surely we can do it, right?
Correct. Out of character, you can invoke them whenever. It's just invoking them at their hours makes them stronger. But you can invoke them whenever you like without having to worry too much about it.
Oh, out of character, that's what I was trying to ask about 6 a.m. was like if we were landing like an hour apart between the two of them, if that might make the fact that we're trying to call on both of them a little bit more like so that we're not favoring one over the other, if that makes sense.
Given the proximity, it would be a little bit stronger for both of them, sure. You just have to also be careful that you do not do anything to anger the hour who's actually of the hour 6 a.m., the Witch and Sister.
She sounds fun, lovely, very nice.
So what are we thinking would be the best way to go about this?
I would say we go at 7 a.m. That way we're able to fully empower the Colonel. And if we still need to use Mother of Ants, well, it won't be... Oh, hopefully it won't anger the Colonel.
They are somewhat aligned still, so it's fine.
Mhm.
Also, with the astonishing successes rolled by Loretta and Roderick, while it would still give power, the issue is that the Witch and Sister tends to have conflicts with the Mother of Ants, so you'd have to be especially careful not to anger her, or else you may even empower the little sister or the younger sister to come against you.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, I suppose fine-tuning our plan then? If we're seeking to do this immediately in the morning?
I'm initially inclined to think that we can probably invoke powers like the Colonel and the Mother of Ants up close and personal. We certainly can't detonate a bomb and be up close and personal. For that reason, I think we should try violence first, and if we have to tame it with some sort of otherworldly power, we do that afterwards when we're good and desperate.
I mean, there's no reason that we can't do both at once. If you focus your bombs, I mean, we don't know how big these things are. Right?
Bombs? Jesus Christ, I'm not a maniac. I didn't make multiple.
I don't know what you got in there.
I wouldn't put it past you at the moment, but I do agree that if you're going to have to do this, choosing to do violence first isn't going to be the worst of ideas, but we should pair it at least with one of the other hours, most likely the one that makes it most scared.
You think your reasoning for the 7 a.m. is sound?
Does the Colonel make Oh my god, does it make the little sisters more afraid?
The Colonel makes most entities of the occult afraid, given his streak of unkindness and cruelty. It would definitely be a little bit more intense, given that he has a connection to the eldest sister of the little sisters. So, very likely it would be a bit more effective against them.
So, I think it would be best if we do go at 7 a.m. I mean, the Colonel does kind of cause and invoke the most fear in almost all other occult creatures. And if we still need a bit extra, then we do have the Mother of Ants.
Do we know how to find this thing?
Presumably, we just need to seek it out in the moors. Maybe bring an item of sorts.
You do believe that with everything that you've gathered and everything that you've learned about this, that you could very easily find the Little Sisters either by tracking, akin to how one hunts, or you could find them through more occult means by calling upon the Mother of Ants, given her connection to the serpents.
Call upon one to find them and another to hurt them?
It does sound like a fine idea. Though, if we do hurt them, the Mother of Ants might be upset unless we are somehow able to explain to this entity and to this hour that we are trying to save their worshippers of sorts.
Oh, well, the Mother of Ants considers things like wounds to be something of a do I put it? A way to wield power. Tools for her. Doors. Things like that. So it might be possible that it won't anger her, since it would just be an expression of her power. And he kind of winces as he says it.
I think we could gamble on that, or I think we could count on the Colonel to do better for us.
Fair point.
You do make it sound incredibly half-baked as a plan when you put it like that.
Wait, me or Frederick?
Frederick.
Well, it sounds as though the general consensus is 7 a.m.
Agreed, it does sound like our best option. Then again, I am the one who's touting that.
And so we venture out earlier, or?
Given the decided upon time, it is the beginning of the next day as everyone has woken up from their slumber peacefully, thankfully. Those of you who have any levels of fascination or dread, I would like a roll of determination, if you would. Do remember that dread gives a +10 to determination, while fascination gives a -10 to determination.
Oh no! Oh no!
My determination is high enough to where I still have not encountered either of those on my end.
My determination's only 20.
I pass.
Excellent.
Do I need a roll?
Only if you have any actual levels of dread or fascination currently.
Nope.
Oh! Well, I rolled an 8 out of 20, and also I have the fascination, so... Do I still pass?
Yeah, since you then had to roll an 8 out of 10, and actually I believe I had you increase your determination to 25 at one point.
Oh, yeah, I thought that I had increased something, but, like, nothing saved, so I don't know.
I do remember that I told you to increase it, so it was 25. Still, an 8 out of 15 means that you pass, and the fascination begins to fade as you bring yourself back down, grounded into reality.
Cool.
You said dread adds a +10 to the...
It adds +10 to your current determination score.
Gotcha. In that case, I rolled a 41 out of 60.
All right. You shake off the fear of opening a door that you shouldn't, because you know that you are going to have to open a few doors in order to prevent the horror that has been described to you and brought to you through research and speaking to other individuals. You know that to make sure that the correct door stays shut, other doors will open and you will be the one to do so. And so you can go ahead and also remove that level of dread, if you would.
Got it.
And I rolled a 57 out of 85 because
All
of
right.
the +10.
Then you also go ahead and remove that level of dread from yourself as you bring yourself back to a reality that you believe can be made more beautiful as you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you all have woken up and are getting a good good little bit of breakfast. It seems like a bit of food was left out for you. Not the usual grand spread, but there was still some food. You're not sure who cooked it. Maybe the librarian got up and did it before going back to bed. Maybe the hush house itself managed to somehow get you all a few good scones and tea. But whatever the case, you are able to get yourself a bit of food and drink, gather together your gear, and head out into the moors. How are you wanting to track the younger sister?
Well, it's a giant
Is it-
snake, right? So at some point, I assume it's going to shed its skin. So I'm wondering if we are going to find a shed skin.
Does anyone have any tracking?
I do.
Woo! Because I have none.
Whoever, I will ask for one person to be the lead tracker on this, and anyone else who has tracking can also aid them, giving them an advantage.
Well, my tracking is 70. So if somebody's got better,
Does Frederick have tracking?
I suspect he does. Give me one moment. Okay, this looks like... Oh, track 0. That's helpful. Okay, yeah, so no
I'm
idea what the hell I'm doing out here.
wonderful, wonderful. So,
And I will help Loretta.
Speaking of Annie Oakley.
oh Lord. All right. So I get plus 10 to my track.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Well, let's see. I succeed.
Fantastic. You do manage to, as you're all heading into the moors, just sort of open your senses a bit, utilizing a sort of meditation technique to generally increase your focus. And you look around and you do see the signs of movement. You see broken branches on trees a bit higher up than perhaps you were hoping for, but you were told that this is a rather large serpent. You see divots in the ground as if something was sliding along with such force and speed that it actually created a small trail. And you do find shed skin and traces of blood, dried blood across leaves, leading you through the moors that are currently chilling and almost oppressive in how they surround you, as if they are working to try to keep you within them. And as you reach the end of this trail, you do see that there is an opening into what looks to be almost akin to an amphitheater. Looks to be of reek make, stone and marble. You see that there are a few toppled pillars. You see that there are cracks in grand marble walls at the far side of where you are standing. It's still within the tree line at the moment. And you see that there is signs of battle. You see a crater made against one of the seats where others would gather, and there are other craters like it that seem to be human-shaped, human-sized. You see large splatters of blood that are still working to dry, and you see that there is one serpent that is currently sort of wrapped around, like circular, akin to Ouroboros, around another corpse, the corpse of a serpent much like it. The serpent itself is quite large. It looks like it could, if it really wanted to, work to open its jaws and extend its jaws to swallow in a large carriage. It looks like it has some rather minor wounds that have been healing rapidly, and it looks very easily to see that it looks almost sad, as it has lost a familial connection here, as it has stuck close to the corpse of its sister. The corpse, which has several large indents and holes within it, as if it had been impacted by something with such great force that it busted through the thicker scales and into the soft flesh of this larger, grander being.
Well, if it's... Frederick speaks up for a moment and thinks better of it, as he's close. So... everybody sort of crouched in the shrubbery here, is that...
Yeah, that's what I figured. You were all just basically coming to the edge of the tree line and staying out of sight, so that way you could get an idea of this area and finish up final steps of the plan before moving in.
Okay, well, my first super obvious question is, am I close enough that I can huck the bomb at it?
You think that if you really put your all into it, you could just really lob it, and it would get there? It might be a little bit harder given the distance, but you think it's definitely possible.
Okay, so I'm gonna have
Much
to
closer would he need to get?
If you wanted to go ahead and get down a few of the steps closer to it, it would be much easier. But of course, then he would also be within full sight of the serpent.
Okay, so it's me and... oh gosh. And the Southern Belle character who has a gun, right?
Loretta.
Yes,
Loretta.
Loretta is also armed.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names in real life, and I'm also really bad with names in tabletop role-playing games. Okay. Loretta, dear. And he leans over and he whispers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get a little closer.
Alright.
I'm gonna huck the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to cover me if the son of a bitch tries and runs me down. Yeah?
And she'll make sure that she's got bullets in the gun. And once she's got that confirmation, she'll just give him a quick nod.
Can I trust you not to put a bullet in my back?
More or less.
Frederick bites his lip and looks at you, like his lower lip, like just the sheer disbelief.
I am capable.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna look around at everybody else and see if anybody else has any particular opinions about what's about to be done.
Nell's just got her hands over her mouth and her eyes on the ground.
I'm holding my torch, right?
Yes.
Do we need to do anything to prepare and like call upon the colonel?
I do believe that you have generally what you would need. It is also approaching the correct time for the colonel to be at his greatest.
Okay.
You do think that you have enough of what you need. You just need to actually set things in motion.
Okay. I am going to start calling upon the colonel as soon as I see him get ready to throw the bomb.
Okay.
And Roderick will be preparing to try to call upon the mother of ants so that once the bomb goes off, if the snake does like charge towards us or anything like that, I would try to catch its attention and maybe slow down its advance to buy more time for others to do their thing.
If Nell is aware that Roderick and Sister are going to do the thing, she will give each of them a hand, like literal hand, just to give a little bit of her energy. Not that she knows what to do.
Helena, Helena, dear, can you specifically help me in this?
Oh, yes. What would you like me to do?
I just need your assistance in calling upon the Colonel. I think Roderick, Roderick, what is your night arts?
Out of care, it's 80.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. And since I've been rolling like dog shit, I could just use his assistance. So Helena, I would really appreciate it. Since I have not really had the best of luck as of late, but if I would really appreciate it if you help me a little bit, make sure I'm on the right path.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Would you like my hand or for me to do something specifically?
What exactly are the motions that we need to do to call upon the Colonel?
Mostly it is just calling upon him and offering a bit of a sacrifice. Offering either knowledge to be fed into his being or to take on a scar, much as he did, as a sign of devotion to him. While also working to unleash a light.
I got candles, and matches in my bag.
Okay.
And I have a small knife in the bag as well.
Set the candle here, and I'm just going to point to whatever ledge, and I'm going to... If nobody's really paid attention to Sister Rosalie's hands before, you'll notice that there does appear to be a scar in the center. Hand me the knife, dear.
Oh, but right.
When I tell you, I need you to light the candle.
All right, I will do that.
A better cue will also be for when Roderick throws what he needs to.
Of course.
I'll tell you when I'm ready, and I'll try to do what I can on my end to help you guys bring it forward.
Sorry, I meant Frederick, but yes.
Oh, whoops.
Would my scar help any? I have one.
Yeah, the fresh ones. And these will always be fresh. Jesus upon the cross.
Oh.
And for when it does come to the time I need to stab my hand, I will do it slightly to the left of where the scar already is, to make sure it's new and welcoming.
Already.
No, just good.
We will begin, I believe, with Frederick's bomb tossing.
Okay, so I'm gonna creep toward it. Is this for brevity? Do you want me to make a like skullduggery check to creep towards it, and then some kind of physicality check to chuck the bomb, or are we just gonna do one or the other?
I would allow a check of... Yeah, I believe it's skullduggery, because I don't believe there is an actual sneak skill. If someone could double check that for me.
Not a sneak skill, but he could also use dexterity.
Dexterity.
Which one's better?
Sorry, scoundrel. I like calling it skullduggery. I've decided to only ever use my own words for things and just be as opaque and confusing as I can.
Well, you're doing a great job. A scoundrel check to sneak closer, and then a physicality check. Of course, if the scoundrel check fails, then you might not be able to get too much closer, and if it really fails, then, well...
Okay, so I have a scoundrel of 85, and I've just rolled an 85. Is meets beats, or is it over for me?
You could also use one of the cards too. Just remember that.
Mm-hmm. There is an axe.
It's a trick. Get an axe.
I can either flip a coin, or you can utilize one of the tarot.
Okay, is the Elegiast still in the tower? Tarot here?
I believe the Elegiast is not. He was removed, given everyone utilizing the dice that was on that tarot card.
Okay, SpaghettiOs. Alright, maybe let's try... The Vagabond. And I think the Vagabond's an interesting one. They are a traveler, and they're associated with Moth, and Moth has been known to be useful for stealth. So, can we see a Vagabond roll counts as something sneaky?
Absolutely. The Vagabond has a D12 and a D20. Which would you like?
A D12. And does the D12 replace the entire roll, or do I just pick one position, or how all does that
You
work?
pick a singular position. Do you want to replace the ones place or the tens place?
We're going to try the tens place.
Okay.
I just rolled another 1d100. I'm sorry, I'm a little dense. Okay,
Whoa!
so that brings
Very
me down
nice.
to 45, I think.
Which would be a success. So you do manage to sneak closer without getting noticed by the snake. It does, like, let its tongue out to sort of scent the air and taste the air a bit, and just seems to shift and slither a bit, but does not seem to really notice your existence there.
All right, concerning, very concerning. We're going to try a physique roll now. Okay, so I have a physique of 70, and this is a 91.
Use the
Another
tarot.
one.
Use it!
Another
one.
Use,
And another
use
one.
the horned axe.
Another
The horned
one.
axe.
Please.
The axe is a good choice. The Forge of Days has been known to be associated with bombs and with physical strength. Does the Forge of Days have an opinion about me chucking a bomb?
I think the Forge of Days would love for there to be some fucking violence.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I'm going to try that one more time. I'm going to roll a d4 for the tens place.
Another one.
Okay, that's a 21 in total, and I have a 70-some-odd physique. So I think the bomb arrives. Unless you have something to say, I guess. I don't know.
To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern,
To whom it may
improvised
concern.
explosive device.
One moment while I remove that die from that tarot.
Dear NSA, this is not a real bomb.
Yeah, to the actual FBI agents who are currently watching us and putting us all on a list, we're joking.
It's
Second
all
off,
a
you could
game.
actually. Second off, please join our Patreon.
Yes,
Yes, our
Good.
Patreon is Pilot Haven Studios.
the $10 tier is...
If you align yourself on the $10 tier, you might be able to be a part of this.
Yeah.
It's good to be a problem player at your table, but it's even better to put your players on a list. Like, if you can manage that, now you're really being a problem player.
Yes.
This bomb arcs from where you hug it with a little... And with that sound, the serpent raises its head, looks over at you, and begins to open its mouth and let out a hiss, but followed by a sound akin to a bellow, like a loud, like almost like a boat's horn. It's
Bring me
deep,
one, boy.
it's resonating, and it just sort of pours outward from it through the woods and almost through you. And then the weapon you made impacts, and you see this spray of what looks almost akin to snow, but you see as the snow falls across the serpent, the snow doesn't just land and melt. It lands and freezes instantly. The scales across the serpent begin to crinkle with the sound of the ice all forming together, and you just hear a large crash as it was trying to move, and the shifting of muscle causes so many scales and so much of its like outer layer covering the soft flesh to just shatter off of itself in a bloody spray as it lets off a wail of agony.
Okay.
So I guess now I call upon the Colonel.
Light a candle.
I would like a roll of bright arts from Sister Rosalie. I would also like you to please note down 1 level of injury on your sheet for devotion to the Colonel.
Would I be able to roll night arts to assist in the calling of the Colonel to try to make it easier for Sister Rosalie to open that door?
You could do that for calling upon the Mother of Ants to make it easy to keep the snake where it is, but the Colonel pretty much, if you're focusing on just using the light and the lantern aspect of the Colonel, it focuses on light arts. If you wanted to, if you wanted to show like more focus on violence and the way that the Colonel fights, that would require something akin to actually getting up and fighting it and devoting the battle to the Colonel for his edge.
Gotcha.
Would Helena helping me with this little calling upon by lighting the candle, because I'm doing the physical devotion, and we're doing the like opening of the light with the candle. Would that be an advantage?
It would indeed, yes. And also, Loretta, if you are going to fire upon it, I would like a roll of, I believe, marksmanship.
It's shooting.
You can feel free to roll shooting if you so choose.
Fuck yeah, let's go. My one combat skill. I'm not gonna. My role is a masked tool I've been waiting to use. Not really, but we're here.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'd like to. Guys, my shooting's a 40.
Okay, I'm gonna call upon the Magic God.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Superstar.
Yeah.
We'll start with Sister Rosalie's roll of 100.
Oh my God.
Can I call upon the Magic God?
Or use a card or something.
I would say that you can call upon the Magic God.
Yeah, I want to use that tarot, please, dear God.
You may, though I will also say that to do so, you must also take a die from another tarot card, because the destruction of the devil is watching requires a greater sacrifice.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I am going to take it feels like cheating it. What I will do is I'm gonna use the tarot with the Magic God and take away the die on the vagabond, so that the vagabond is clear.
So are you also utilizing a D20 from the Magic God?
Oh, it has to be an equal die.
I was going to ask that it be an equivalent die.
Oh, okay, then I'll take I want to use the D6 off the Magic God, so I will take a D6 off of... Yeah, the only one that has a D6 right now is a Horned Axe.
And Loretta, what die would you like to take from the tarot?
I'm gonna use the last on the thunder skin.
I don't see.
The only one that I see that's I'm going off the ones that's pinned.
So there's the Magic God, the Flower Maker, the Crowned Growth, the Vagabond, the Horned Axe, and the Forge of Days.
Where are
References and announcements of
okay, can we please get the ones that are pinned to the general chat removed then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My
They have been
apologies.
removed.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll take a D4 off the horned axe.
Okay.
Because violence.
The Horned Axe does love some violence.
Okay. Presumably I pass, if it's taking the like hundreds and tens if away.
It would just bring it down to 60.
Yeah, I can do that. The 60 is great for me.
All right. That is a 36, which is a success for me.
Excellent.
I have a success on my bright arts.
Whee!
All right. I need to make a secret roll.
No.
Oh man, I can't wait for this thing to attack me. It'll be so fun.
I can't believe I rolled 100.
That was.
You even had help.
I was gonna
I
say.
even had help.
I blame me because I was about to say Helena has her head on her shoulder just to give her the extra oomph, and maybe that was a bit too much oomph.
Yeah, because it would have been like 95. If I had rolled a 90, I would have passed. Ugh.
So, the explosion rings out as it begins to surge forward, blood just coming off of it in large streams almost. It straight up pushes through Frederick. Frederick, I would like you to go ahead and make me a roll of dexterity first.
Okay, sure thing. Hold on one moment. Let's see about that roll. Okay, 13, and if I recall correctly, my dexterity is 70. Yes, that's true, 70 dexterity.
Okay, you managed to just dive to the side and out of its path to avoid getting just trampled underneath its mass. As it
Oh,
surges
good, a
forward.
save or die, hell yeah.
As it surges forward, the shot from Loretta's rifle rings out. Loretta, you realize you didn't check to see if this thing had ammo?
No, she did.
Yes, I did.
Oh wait, you did. That's correct. You did.
Yeah.
I apologize.
I think that was...
That was the first thing I said. I said I make sure that this thing has bullets in it.
You're right. My apologies.
Being gaslit by the storyteller, guys. Let's isolate him.
You would know gaslight robots. Anyway.
Of which
shot-
all three should be skills in this game, but none of them are.
We'll have to change that later. The shot
are now.
rings out and just impacts heavily, taking off a large chunk of flesh from the top of the serpent's being, like a chunk that shows you can see the gleaming white of skull underneath it as it is just hissing and just in horrid pain. And as it lunges at you again, you take another shot and take one of its eyes. As it doesn't crush it or pierce, it almost shatters in a spray of these deep purplish and bluish fluids mixing in with the red blood as it pulls back and just lets out another unholy wail, which gives enough time for Sister Rosalie and Helena to begin calling upon an aspect. And looking upon it, it is beautiful. The candle lights and creates this gleam of pure golden light that comes out and you can feel a sense of arrogance and cruelty coming from it. Just the sight of it is enough that I would like everyone to give me a roll of determination, please.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, let's go. Let's all get fascination.
Ah!
Fuck yeah, let's go.
31. Oh, I have like a 30 determination. 40 determination? I don't even care. Frederick
I
shrugs
yeah.
it right off.
I've got a 75 determination. I look at it and spit.
A 25. I rolled a
My
40.
mine is 80, and I rolled a freaking 90.
Yeah. Fascination's not so bad.
Sometimes you'll have that. So, it looks like we have successes from Loretta, Frederick, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Roderick, what is your determination again?
I failed. That's a 68 out of 50.
All right.
Could I use a D4 from the Forge of Days for this?
I would say yes,
Okay.
given that there is great light coming from the forge itself.
That was my thinking. So that would give me a 28. So that's better. That is below my 50.
Alrighty. And is anyone else going to utilize any dice?
Yeah.
I don't know what's left.
Y'all are cheat. Take that fascination.
Actually, wait, no. Fascination's good for bright arts, isn't it?
It does help with bright arts. It does cause any future determination rolls to be lowered, though. And again, while it does help bright arts, if you get too much, then your mind begins to leave your body.
I will take the one level of fascination for now.
Me too.
Alrighty. This golden gleam is beautiful. It's perfect. And I would like you both to note down the fascination. Light is pure.
Got you.
But this light also seems to sear and almost cauterize and burn through some of the exposed flesh of the younger sister. It is still like writhing and thrashing its body about. Loretta, if you could please give me a roll.
Yeah, I feel like it goes without saying that she's dedicating all of her shots to the Colonel.
Of course. And as such, I will let you choose to dodge utilizing bright arts.
Oh, cool. This thing was gonna hit me.
Only in its wild lashings.
Wild flashings on that. Let's go. "41, I succeed."
Woohoo!
Given that you have dedicated this act of violence and showing your superiority to other beings to the Colonel, he doesn't smile, but there is almost a sense of him nodding at you and just gently shoving you out of the way as the body of this great serpent lashes about and would have impacted upon you had you not been pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Roderick.
Oh.
Roderick, you see that this being is wounded heavily. It is blinded because its one good eye has been, the retinas have been seared to just utter destruction. The other eye has been basically blown out of its head, and much of its body has been left scaleless and exposed to the elements. there couldn't really be much greater wounds on a being for you to utilize when calling upon the Mother of Ants.
And I will I will do that now.
Go ahead and roll me Night Arts, if you would, please.
Alrighty. 52 out of 80.
He made the snaky Nicky.
You know of the invocation that you need to say as you raise your own scarred hand and you reach out and can feel the pain that this serpent is feeling. You can just feel the way that suffering opens itself to your determination, to your power. And I have DM'd you the invocation, if you would please say that out loud.
And so he'll kind of be holding his own scar from what he and Loretta got with the librarian out, as if that might add to it or, create the connection between the snake's wounds and his own. And he will say, "We call upon the Mother of Ants, which ariseth from wounds."
And as those last words leave your mouth, you can see from each opening into the flesh of this creature, you can see long insect-like segmented fingers that almost look like they belong on something akin to a stick bug, reaching out from the wounds covered in the blood of the creature and grabbing onto the flesh and forcing it down, even out from the wound of what was left of its eye, just pushing the head down and keeping it there as the Mother of Ants begins to punish its younger sister. And you can see that in the last eye remaining, there are tears, moisture seeping from them, almost as if the serpent is weeping. But it is now submitted to your power, and you may pass.
And that Roderick will kind of look at the others, still holding his own wound out towards it, and just kind of, I think it's done. Done fighting us, for now at least.
I can see if I can scout out those tools that the librarian was looking for.
I can wait here, make sure I can kind of keep it like this. Or you guys do that if you want.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I don't want to put too fine a point on it. I just want to be very clear. We did not come here to stop that snake from fighting. We came here to kill it. By which I mean, are we sure?
How... If your goal is to kill it, then go ahead.
Would you oppose that? Rhetorically or otherwise?
I don't think it'll matter to you if I do or don't.
Would any of my previous roles, when I was looking up information, would it give an idea of how the Mother of Ants would react to one of her sisters being killed while her powers being used to subdue it?
The Mother of Ants, upon her ascension, somewhat lost her ties to her mortal self. to the connection of family. And this is not the first time that one of the younger sisters have been slain. It will not be the last. And like most hours, she does not care. Or if she does not act upon it.
And Roderick will just kind of shrug for his part as he's looking at Frederick.
I think that's... Frederick is probably going to spare the thing for now.
While they're having this conversation, Loretta's gone off to look for the tools.
Okay. You don't have to look too hard. As you get down closer to the corpse of the other younger sister, the one that it seems the librarian had managed to bring down, you see that within the center of the nest there is a couple of things. There is a roughly hewn stone tablet that has, it looks like the engraving or like carving the face of a woman in it. And with your own knowledge of the night arts, you do believe that this is actually a carving of Saint Agnes, a very powerful being within the aspect of Nock.
Mm-hmm. She'll
And
put
you-
that tablet in her bag.
Excellent. You also see one other thing. It is an odd obsidian or something akin to obsidian. It looks to be almost a key, with one end of it being a shape akin to a diamond like you would see on a playing card.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of multiple teeth, it just has like one singular long black tooth at the end of it, as opposed to like multiple teeth that would work through tumblers.
Right.
And you also can even feel the power coming from this. You know this to be called a Frangenclave.
Hmm. Can you write that down in my journal?
I sure can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's really hard to know every single stupid detail about Cultist Simulator until you mention things and not go, oh yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy!
I have written it in your journal, Legacy.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
I realized I probably spelled her name incorrectly. No, I do not care. All right.
That's fine.
After while they're having their discussion of whether or not it's morally correct to kill a giant snake, she'll grab the tools and put them in her bag, and just simply walk back over and say, well, it's done. I grabbed everything that was that I could find.
Shall we,
Maybe we should go.
yes, please, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Swiftly.
So after that, it's the long hike out of the moor, right?
The moors, yes.
Yeah.
And you do not need to work to find your way back out again. the Moors seem to open themselves up to you now that you have shown that you are not ones to be trifled with.
Nobody told the Moors that I only had the one pipe bomb.
Heck around and find out. Oh no.
As you come out of the Moors, it has gotten to about 8 to 8:30. The town is waking up and going about their day. And as you are passing by the post office, you see that there is the postmaster standing outside, and he's looking about and looks to Helena. Mr. McLeod, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Message for you. Come from America, it seems. And he just passes out a envelope to you. And he says, and of course, for everyone here, just feel free to go ahead and take this to the librarian if you would please. And he pulls out a copy of the daily newspaper that is shipped in from London.
The envelope in question? The handwriting?
The handwriting you notice is the handwriting of your grandmother.
Oh, thank God.
I grabbed the newspaper.
The newspaper itself seems to be fairly normal. It seems that there are talks about possibly having to go into war again, and disagreements between the United Kingdom as well as disagreements with Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And you also notice that there's a smaller story down at the bottom left that talks about a individual in America who was a much respected individual who suddenly confessed to all manner of crimes and is now being sentenced to be hanged.
Well, that's rather interesting.
What is?
Some guy's about to be hung.
What?
Confessed to a bunch of crimes and paying the punishment.
What? Where?
Has anyone heard of any crimes in the area anyway?
Helena, you look at the newspaper and you see his name as the one who is about to be punished.
What can I roll to not faint?
Determination.
Oh boy! It's taking its time.
Discord is having a bit of some issues right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Discord having issues? I'm so shocked.
Never.
Let me try that one more time.
I'm just glad it hasn't hit the voice chat.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, I have fascination. It's still not letting me.
So I do believe that your current determination is a grand total of 15. So I will go ahead and roll it for you if you would like me to.
I'm gonna try one more time. Yeah, still not letting me.
Of course, right at the finish line, the dice bot decides to. Yep, there it is. I will go ahead and then roll with a regular die, unless you have a regular die on hand you would like to go ahead and roll with.
I do have D10s, both kinds, but I am. Why don't you go ahead?
Okie dokie. And down she goes. I apologize. I rolled a 99.
No, I love it.
Roderick will try to catch her.
Well,
Yeah, you don't have to really lunge all that hard. It's you just see her stop, stare, and then just see her begin moving one way and not stopping.
She's 90 pounds soaking wet.
Well, we
Where's
should
the
probably
fainting chair?
get back.
Yes, we should. I don't want to see the sight.
And you all head off back to the Hush House. Heads held high, except for Helena, who cannot do so at the current time. And victorious, knowing that you have more of what you would need for the upcoming work that you will have to commit to. And with that, we are going to actually wrap up a few minutes early.
Mm.